Okay, good afternoon, one and all. Uh, so we have all gathered here for this session on business intelligence and Power BI tool. And for this particular session, we have with us Professor Pramod Bhide. He is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Engineering with the Sardar Patel Institute, Andheri, and he has a vast experience of 10 years, and he will be our resource person for today's session, as well as just to introduce sir. Okay, I guess you can students take a lot from him. He is also pursuing his PhD from the same institute where he's working, and he has a vast experience of being a resource person for various at various institutes and for various topics. Okay, and surely there is lot to gain from sir's knowledge in today's session. So Pramod sir, we welcome you for today's session, and you can start over the session.
Thank you, Brinjal ma'am, for a warm welcome. Good afternoon to one and all present here for today's session.
Good afternoon,
So
sir.
I will be starting with my presentation.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, Brinjal ma'am, can you just
Yes, I will
stop
stop
your
my.
yeah,
Okay, sir. You are good to go now.
yeah. Yes, my screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we'll be discussing today business intelligence and Power BI. Right, since this is a post-lunch session, so I will be asking questions in between. So I hope please don't hesitate to answer the questions. Just put your views in front of me. Right. So let's start with our today's session on business intelligence and Power BI, right? So I assume that you have some little knowledge of database, data warehousing, right? Data mining, right? And little just introduction to big data. But still, I will be covering some basic parts in order to before starting with business intelligence and Power BI features, architecture, process, right, and many other features of Power BI. Correct. So let's start. So basically, at the end of this particular session, right? So these are the various outcomes you will be getting at the end of this particular session to understand the difference between business intelligence, analytics, big data, define the characteristics of data for
Sir,
good decision making.
sorry, sir, to disturb you,
Yeah,
but we cannot see the presentation. The slideshow we cannot see,
slideshow is not
not
just
visible.
now. It is visible.
No, I guess you must have shared the actual presentation screen and not the slideshows screen.
Okay, just a minute.
Yeah, just
Whether it is visible now,
yes, sir.
this slide.
Yes, yes, it is
Okay,
visible now.
thank you, thank you.
Okay.
So we'll be learning, and these are the learning objective to understand the difference between BI, analytics, big data. You can define what are the various characteristics are required, right, for good decision making, understanding Power BI tool, right, use of Power BI tool, how to become a BI analyst, to understand the data mining and big data algorithms, right, and to understand the market basket and cluster analysis. Okay, so these are the learning objectives for our today's session, right? So let's see what exactly BI is, what is big data, and what is data mining, right? So business analytics, tools to explore past data to gain insight into future business decisions, right? So this is called as a business analytics, right? And we use these BI tools basically, right? When we talk about a business analytics, so this analytics you can perform with the help of BI tools only, right? So there are various BI tools that we'll be discussing, and we'll focus on Power BI tool, its process, its architectures, then its use. Okay, so when we use past data, right, when you use current data, right, in order to predict something, right, with respect to your past data and your current data, in order to gain some future insights into a data, right, when do you use BI tools, and along with BI tools, when you use some data mining or big data algorithms, right, that is called as business analytics, right? So I will give you just example of your St. John College of Engineering, right? So St. John College of Engineering is established, let's suppose in 10 years before, right? So from the start of the college, right, establishment till upcoming year, that is 2021 2022, right, students are getting admitted every year in each and every academic year, right? And you have students all personal details, right? You have um, their subject details, right? Their extracurricular details. They're all subject wise, semester wise marks details, right? For all the streams like comms, IT, EXC, mechanical, civil, and many other. Correct. So the database or the data format which is used at the start, when that particular, when your college started, right, data types which I use when for in order to store that particular details, right, in the starting year, let's start from 2008 to 2020, current year, current academic year, right, 2021. So database format changes, data types which are used for storing the data is changed, correct? And but the all the data is stored in the form of tables, in the form of database, because see, whether it is an institute or whether it is a corporate field, right, what we use is database in order to store our current data, right? And when you use a current data, you can only apply OLTP, online and online transaction processing. That means you can apply DDL, DML, and DQL statements, right, in order to gain some insights, in order to extract some results, okay, by applying some queries, right? But when you want to take a some decision, right, for an example, right, average marks of top 10 students, right, from date of first year of admission of the college to the current date. So that means last 10 to 15 years of data when you want to work with, right, that data is not available with normal database. The data is available with data warehouse, right? So that's the reason data warehouse is invented, right, in order to store all historical information, correct? So we'll move for from normal database to data warehouse, right? And then we'll see big data, and then we'll see how this business analytics, because this business analytics or this Power BI tool are mainly defined, mainly created, okay, in order to work with very, very big data, right? So when your data is changing continuously with time, right? That too with various formats, right? Then it is very difficult to work with normal traditional data mining OLAP tools, right? Normal traditional DBMS systems, right? Or advanced data warehouse systems. Right, so that is not possible. So that's the reason these big data concepts and big data algorithms are invented, right? Even though the algorithms which are available earlier in data mining, right, that algorithm also are not sufficient, right, and not efficient also, right, in order to apply that algorithm and get some hidden predictive results, right? The accuracy of that particular algorithms are not well, are not up to the mark when you apply as it is, okay, on big data, right? So that is the main difference, okay, where this business analytics comes into picture. Okay, so BI, there is nothing but a business intelligence. So tools and techniques to turn data into meaningful information, right? So I hope many of you have learned KDD process, right? Knowledge discovery in databases, right? So basically here, this KDD process is nothing but a building block, okay, for applying a data mining algorithm on a particular data and getting some knowledge. What do you mean by knowledge? Knowledge is nothing but some result which is useful for some making some strategic decisions, right? For an example, right, if you want to predict your upcoming semester result, right? So if you want to predict upcoming semester result, so you must know what are the various historical data, okay, result data of various students department wise, right? Or section wise, okay, then only. And current data means current ongoing semester data, or at least one semester prior data you must have with us, with you, right? Then only you can predict something, right? So you can identify, you can get some statistics from that particular data, right? So that's the reason, that is what this BI tool does, right? The tools, okay, and techniques. So when we talk about techniques, these techniques are nothing but various algorithms, right? So we'll see as we proceed further what are various algorithms also, okay, that we need to look at, right? And for in order to understand and in order to apply, right, a particular technique or a particular algorithm, right, in order to get some hidden insights, hidden knowledge from the data, right? So but see, when you talk about a knowledge, it is nothing but a data warehouse. When you talk about big data, right, we knowledge is replaced by a value, okay? Whenever you want to find out the hidden insights from the data, right, in big data, right, that insights when you get after applying a business model, after applying a classification model, after applying a clustering model, right, or after applying a association model, right? So this is nothing but a one classification model, one learning. You train the data, right, and from the from training the data you get some output results. You verify that result with respect to the supervised data we have with you, right? And then you apply, you check, cross verify whether the data output predicted by the your model is accurate or not, right? If it is accurate, right, then you create a classification model based on the rules which you get, right? And you turn that particular model, okay, in order to test whatever new upcoming data is coming, right? And you can easily predict, okay, with respect to that particular data. So this is very important, right? So that is what from the learning model, from the classification model, from the classifier itself, okay, you get some hidden predictive insights. So that we call it as a from big data, in big data terms we call it as value, okay? So what is big data? So data sets that are so large or complex that traditional data processing applications are inadequate to perform, to deal with, right? What is data mining? So data mining is nothing but tools for discovering patterns in large data sets, right? So before concentrating more on this big data and data mining, right, let me clear first what is data warehouse and why data warehouse is important, right? And what are the various properties of data warehouse, right? So what are the various properties of data warehouse? So data warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant, right? Subject oriented means, let's take an example. If you want to create a data warehouse for your college, for St. John College of Engineering, right? So St. John of College of Engineering is, let's suppose, established in 2008. So from 2008 to current academic year 2021, correct? All the students are admitted in the college. There are various staffs. There are various non-teaching, teaching staffs. There are libraries. There are floors, right? There are various laboratories, right? So there are a number of there are exam sections. There are a number of entities which are present in that particular in your institute, right? And all the data with respect to all these entities are stored in the form of database itself, right? So that means all the students academic year information, right? All your configuration of your computer system, so everything is stored in the form of tables, right? Tables may be in many formats, correct? So when you want to actually work on whole this data, right, you need to integrate this particular data in at one particular place. right? So for integrating this particular data in one particular place, what you need to do, you need to apply ETL process, extract, transform, and load, right? So I will come to the ETL process as we'll proceed further, right? So you apply extract, transform, and load technique, right? And you get extracted, transformed, and finally the data which you want to load into a data warehouse, right? So that data you load into a data warehouse and you finally work on it. So it is nothing but a historical information. That means, let's suppose student table is present in a databases. So student table is present in 2008, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, right? And current year, let's suppose 2021. So there are total 11 to 12 tables of student tables. But in a data warehouse, when you create, there is only one single table you create, right? That is what student table. That is what subject oriented is, and you finally load all the details of all these students, okay, from this 12 tables into one single table. That is called as a subject oriented integrated, right? There are various possibilities, right? That various extracurricular activities, any certification courses, right? So one information with respect to one particular student may be present in many other tables, right? So that table, that information, you load it into one single table, right, which you are creating in a data warehouse, right? So and once that information is added into a table, right, you cannot modify that particular data, right? You cannot change that particular data. That's the reason it is called as a non-volatile, right? And finally is time variant. That means next year 2021, uh 21-22, right? Next academic year will start and our students will get admitted into that particular academic year, right? And so finally that data will also get added into your data warehouse, right? So historical information, okay, gets added into a data warehouse, right? So but still data warehouse is not sufficient, right, to store the data. That's the reason big data is invented. So what is the reason behind invention of a big data? The reason is in today's demand, right? See, any whatever you think, whatever data you think, right? That data is tremendously increasing, right? And let's take an example of Amazon. Let's take an example of YouTube. Let's take an example of Facebook, Twitter, Google News, Google Plus, right? So all these data, whatever examples I have just informed you, right, this all falls under big data category. The reason is the data which is available on this particular platforms, right, is not in the structured format, right? So what we when we create a data warehouse, right, the data which is present in the data warehouse is in the structured format, right? But when you have when you want to download the data from Twitter, when you want to download the data from YouTube, when you want to download the data from Facebook, when you want to download the data from YouTube, when you want to download the data from Google News, right, from Amazon, right? So this data is consisting of all unstructured data, right? Data is consisting of normal data, symbols, spatial symbols, audios, videos, right, animated files. So this is nothing but a huge combination variety of the data. So that are the various properties of big data. So what are the various properties of big data, right? So big data has various properties: volume, variety, velocity, right, and veracity and value, correct? So volume is nothing but when you talk about Facebook, right? Can anyone let's take an example of Twitter. Can anyone tell me how many tweets gets tweeted per second on a Twitter? Around 32,000 tweets per second gets tweeted on a Twitter, right? So have you noticed, right, you have uploaded one particular tweet and that tweet gets deleted because you uploaded many tweets on a Twitter. Have you noticed you uploaded, if you have a YouTube channel on a YouTube, right, there are restrictions on uploading a number of videos on a particular day, right? There are restrictions on minimum size of your video. No restrictions at all, right? Have you noticed any time that you have uploaded some video or some photos, right, on Facebook, or on you uploaded video on YouTube, right? Or you uploaded your photos or some tweets on a Twitter, right? Let's suppose 10 years back, right? And that videos or that photos are not available on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Facebook has or YouTube has deleted that particular content. So this won't happen, because see, each and every data is meaningful, each and every data is required, right? And that data is why it is required, because they want to make some strategic decisions, right, based upon your single click. See, whatever you do on a Google, you think, yeah, it is not captured. No, but whatever you do on a Google, it is captured. You install a number of apps in your mobile phone, right? You think nothing is captured, that no one is noticing you, what you are doing, how many times you are accessing that particular data, what you are looking at. No, but everything is captured, right? Whatever app you are using, right? They know all the statistics of uses, right, of a particular app by you. So what I mean to say, all the information, right, is very, very required, right, in order to make some strategic decisions, yeah, right? And that in order to gain some insights into future business decisions, right? With respect to when we talk about we have talked with respect to all these corporate companies, from big leaders, from Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, right, Amazon, right, to a small app, right, which you are installed in your mobile phone, right? But this all, from small scale to large scale, all these corporate companies, right, stores your all historical information, because they use this historical information in order to do some strategic decisions, in order to do some analysis, some statistics, right? And they actually do, right? So that is what very, very important concept of big data, and that's the reason this big data analytics is required, right, in order to handle all the information, all the tasks which data mining performs. So if you talk about the data mining, right, so it is nothing but tools for discovering patterns in large data sets, right? So when we talk about a data mining, right, so there are various data mining tasks. That data mining tasks are nothing but classification, clustering, association, right, recommendation, prediction. So all these are nothing but five major tasks of data mining, right? And how these data mining tasks are performed? These data mining tasks are performed based on some analysis, right? Based on some analysis, based on some algorithms. And in order to do some analysis, what we need is algorithms, correct? Without algorithms, you cannot find the patterns, you cannot find hidden insights, okay, to make some strategic decisions, right? It is not possible at all. But the data mining algorithms which are available in a particular category, in classification, in clustering, association, right, these data mining algorithms are also not sufficient, right, to deal with the big data. So that's the reason new algorithms are also invented in big data, right? For, let's take an example of clustering algorithms, right? We have various k-means, k-medoids, cyclomatic clustering, divisive clustering in data mining, right? But these algorithms are not efficient, right? So that's the reason new algorithms are, clustering related algorithms are invented, and that algorithms are nothing but QR algorithm, clustering using representative points. When you talk about the association, we have a priori algorithm, we have frequent pattern tree algorithm in data mining, but these algorithms won't give you result as accurate result when you talk about big data. So that's the reason new association mining algorithms are invented, right? And that algorithms are nothing but PCY algorithm, Sun algorithm, right? Multi-hash algorithm, multi-stage algorithm. So these all algorithms are invented with respect to big data, right? So data which is present in a big data is very huge, right? So that's the reason it is in high volume, right? So let's take an example. When a particular rocket is launched, right? So until that particular rocket, let's take an example of Chandrayaan-2 Muhim, right? So that Chandrayaan-2, okay, mission took around 3 months to reach moon, right? So per minute, the data generated, they were capturing each and every data, right? They were looking at each and every data, per second data was captured, right? And the data which is generated per second, per minute is in GBs, right? But they have captured all this particular data, right? Because they want to analyze that particular data, right? When that mission is unsuccessful, right, they use all the data which is generated from start to end, right, in order to identify the pitfalls in the mission, in the mission, correct? Let's take an example of toll plazas, right? Various sensors are clipped. Let's take an example of fast tags. N number of vehicles pass through a toll plaza, and automatically your balance gets deducted from your account, correct? So just imagine how many transactions take place with the help of RFID devices, right? And that is two with equal amount for a particular vehicle, correct? Then let's take an example of Amazon. And Amazon is used worldwide, right? Even though you're sitting in India, a number of products you can buy from foreign countries, right? And that products is delivered at your doorsteps, correct? So a number of transactions are happening per day. So just imagine the amount of data, amount of that is what volume is. Then next is velocity. We talked 32,000 tweets tweeted per second on Twitter, right? So just see imagine the speed, right? How many vehicles pass through a toll plaza? How many transactions per second all over the world are happened or occurred on Amazon? So data is increasing, variety. So on all these platforms which we just had discussed, right, are consisting of various variety of data, right? A variety of unstructured data. Let's take an example of Google News, right? So Google News has various information, right? Google News, they don't have their own portal, right, where they are actually generating and creating their own news, and they are publishing that news on that portal. No, right? There are leading news agencies, right? News companies, right, which are generating the news locally in our respective countries. So this news for all the categories across the world, right, across in various languages itself, right, in across various categories are fetched from these leading news agencies, news companies, right, and it is shown on your Google portal. So just see, you can scroll on Google News, you can check YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So these all are examples where the data is changing, and all data with respect to all the categories, right, are stored, are uploaded, are tweeted, are posted, right, are in the form of videos, in the form of audios, in the form of pictures, in the form of animations on across all these platforms which we just had discussed in detail. Right, so this is nothing but a big data. Right, in order to deal with this big data, right, we need to have business intelligence tools, right, with us, right? We need to have enough knowledge of what is big data and what are the properties of big data, right? What are the various algorithms of big data? What is data mining, right? What are various data mining algorithms, right? Or on a particular data, which algorithm is very is useful? Because if you don't have this background, then you cannot just think of, you cannot think of what kind of if a particular scenario is given to you, right? The data is given to you, and one scenario is given that yes, you have to fetch as per these requirements, you have to fetch this particular result. We our client wants this result A, result B, result C. So result A is with respect to classification, result B is with respect to clustering, result C is with respect to association, result D is with respect to prediction, result E with respect to recommendations, right? Then with respect to this particular data and with respect to these requirements, right, what are various algorithms are available, right? How you can use this particular algorithm with BI tools, right, in order to fetch all these particular details, right? So I hope you must have cleared with all the differences between what is BI, what is big data, what is data mining, correct? Now, why we need to do business analytics? So basically, business analytics is very, very important, right? Because there are various categories you have to look at, right? There are various points which are you need to keep in mind, right, when you want to apply a business analytics. Okay, so business analytics is required, right, in order to identify key performance indicators, right? Driving sales, business problems, in demand manufacturing in demand products, right? And process benchmarking. See, when you talk about one particular product company, right? Let's take an example of any product company. Let's take an example of phone manufacturing company, Android phone manufacturing company, right? If this particular company wants to sustain in a competitive market, right, then they must have to identify key performance indicators. Let's take an example of Samsung, right? So Samsung has various mobile phones, various Android phones, right? Starting from 5K to highest 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, right? So, and they have various categories of mobile phones, right? So among all, which particular product, which particular product is performing well, right, doing well in the market, right? So based if one particular product of Samsung is not doing well, right, in a market, then how you can drive the sales for that particular product, right? What kind of mechanism you need to do, right, in order to increase the sales for that, to that particular product, right? You, in order to identify various business problems, right, by looking at various scenarios, current scenarios with respect to all manufacturing companies in that particular domain, right? What are the demand for various features, right, that you have to identify, right? So in order to add that particular features, what are the key key details you want to add, right, while manufacturing that particular product, all right, while adding some features in that particular product, right? You have to look at all others parameters, all other parameters, right, you know, in order to identify all these in demand details, right? And process benchmarking, right? See, in order to gain profit, in order to sell more product, right, you need to do a process benchmarking with respect to all other processes in the same category of that particular product, right? So in order to get some strategic decisions, right, with respect to this with respect to our particular product, right, and the competitive market, right, you need business analytics. And for that, of course, as we have discussed, right, what you need is previous historical information and the current historical information, right? And might have you have also analyzed that. See, before one particular product or one particular brand, right, if you want to, you have manufactured one particular product, or you have planned to manufacture one particular product. Let's take an example of Samsung mobile phone, which all advanced features, which are competing with all leading top sellers brand, correct? So you have noticed that before launching that particular product, that particular company, okay, do various surveys on various platforms. Yes, we are providing this particular these are the various features, right? So all the features are listed, right? And they just publish these surveys on across various portals, on Twitter, on Facebook, all the platforms, right? And user react to that particular features which are added, react to that particular surveys, and then from that surveys itself, right, they predict, yes, whether this particular mobile phone which they are going to launch with these features, right, which with respect to a competitive market, with respect to the top, all the features of top selling brands across the companies in that particular mobile product domain, correct? So they analyze, yes, whether this particular mobile phone will be a huge demand, will be in huge demand, will give a more profit. So how many products we actual copies of product we need to manufacture. So this is nothing but from business analytics. They do business analytics on this, right? And they identify various feature, they get some feature insights, okay, by applying the historical information and by the current information which they have got, okay, after, by doing the online surveys, correct? So this is called as a business analytics, okay? So how do companies select BI tools? So basically, companies select BI tools based on this particular categories: availability and uses, easy to learn and use, quality of data visualization, right, and cost and ease of setup. Okay, so basically, what is the use? what is the availability, whether that BI tool is available online, right? What are the uses, right? Whether the GUI of that particular BI tool is easy, right? Quality of data visualization, all types of data visualizations, parameters, right? All graphs are available or not, right? So, and what is the quality of that? Then, and finally, the cost and ease of setup, because there are various BI tools or various softwares, right? They take the setting up that particular tool is very, very difficult. So these are the various parameters which company look at. Okay, okay, when they actually work or they work on a BI tool, business intelligence tool. Okay, so what are the various popular BI tools? So if you look at in the current market, in the current scenario, these are the various business intelligence tools, popular business intelligence tools in the markets: Tableau, SAS, ClickView, Power BI, and SAP. Okay, and trust me, see, as you all are studying in third year of your engineering, right? You have more time, right, to really work on any one of the tool, right, and master on that particular tool, right? And you can really hired by big very big companies with high package, right? And trust me, the highest paying job, highest package job in the today's IT industry is for data scientists or business analytics, right? And a person or a software developer who has this knowledge of all these tools which are listed here: Tableau, SAS, ClickView, Power BI, and SAP. And listen, if you really want, if you are really interested, right, in doing a career in data scientist or a business analyst, right, you, this is the right time to start learning all these tools: Tableau, SAS, ClickView, Power BI, and SAP. Any one of the tool. Okay, if you are starting with Power BI, then you have to start with Power BI and you have to focus on Power BI itself, because if you look at, there are all equal opportunities in this in each and every tool. Trust me, and just after this particular session, you can even Google it, right? Highest paying job, okay, in Tableau, in SAS, in ClickView, in Power BI, in SAP, right? Highest paying packages, okay, are available in this particular domain, in this particular in this particular business intelligence tools. Okay, and a number of opportunities and number of engineers, right, required, means a number of current postings, okay, that also you can look at. Okay, Tableau current postings available, number of current postings, SAS, Power BI, SAP, current posting available. There are a number of openings for each and every business intelligence tools. And data scientists, again I am repeating, data scientists and business analytics, these are the highest paying jobs, okay, in IT industry. Now, what are various functions of BI tools? Okay, so these are the various functions of BI tools. Okay, you have various data, right? So that data is nothing but content, right? And this content you have to view. So in order to view that particular content, that there are various features, there are various plans, okay, available, right, in order to view that particular content. There are various dashboards, right, within a particular frame, in a particular frame, right? You must have to get all detailed information along with a graph, along with the statistics, right, on one particular your homepage dashboard. So this is nothing but a dashboard. So in order to provide such dashboard, okay, with respect to the particular company, right, a particular project, okay, dashboards are very, very important. Reports, okay, see, when you actually work on an IT industry, right, you need to create various reports for your projects, right? So as and when your project is, you're simultaneously, if you're using a BI tool and if you're working simultaneously on a BI tool, right, and your project, let's suppose 70% completed, 80% completed, and finally you complete your product, your project, you test it, right, and finally you deploy it, right? So, and once your project deployment is done, automatically all your reports must be ready. Simultaneously, your report must be ready within on just one click, and that is available. These features are available in a BI tools. Correct. Next is share and collaborate. See, if you look at, there are all the corporate companies. Let's take an example of Infosys, Facebook, Twitter, right? TCS, Barclays, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, right? KPMG. So all these companies have various branches across the world, right? And it's not like that you are working in India, right? And you're working on a one particular project, right? And that project is divided into some small teams. So one team maybe working from India, one team maybe working from Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, US, UK. So from all the parts of the world, right? They are working, right? And they are working on the same product, same project, right? So in order to get the result or outcome of some project tasks, which are divided into some small teams, they are working in a collaboration across the world, right? They need to share, they need to collaborate some code, they need to collaborate some result, they need to share some results, they need to collaborate some results, right? They need to share some reports. Are you getting? So these facilities are available in BI tools, right? So even though the employees are working across the world on the same project, right, they can work, okay, together collaboratively, right, in order to complete that project. And finally, explore, like exploring all the features, all the parameters, right, in a 360-degree way, right, in order to deal with all hidden insights. Is this feature is very important in business intelligence, and that is features is available in BI tool. Okay, what BI analyst requires? See, if you want to become, as you are in third year engineering, if you want to become a business intelligence analyst, right, then you must to learn all these terms which are mentioned here, right? If you really have an interest, right, then you must have to learn all these things. You must know SQL, you must know ETL, extract, transform, load. You must know Python programming language or a R programming language. Okay, any one of these. If you're focusing on Python, then you have to focus on a Python only, right? You must know Hadoop. You must know map reduce concepts. You must know Spark concepts, right? So this all are nothing but map reduce and Spark. These are nothing but various frameworks, right, that you use with Hadoop, okay, in order to work parallelly, right, in order to execute your tasks parallelly, okay, and get the result within fraction of seconds, okay, on one particular system itself, correct? Then what is next required is logical mind and genuine interest to solve the problems. See, when you have let's assume that you are be an analyst, you're working in let's suppose you're working with Google, right? And there are a number of clients scenarios, there are a number of clients requirements, right? And you want to give output to that particular requirements, right? So these are simple, but you must know how to apply, which algorithm you need to apply, right, which particular parameter you need to look at, right? What are various features you will consider, right? What are various parameters among the data set you will consider, and what kind of results you will get when you apply one particular algorithm, when you want to make some cluster analysis or some market basket analysis, right, with respect to the data which is provided to you, right? So you must have a logical mind in order to work with, right? And you must have an interest. If you have an interest, then only you can solve the complex problems, right? Otherwise, the solving the problems and applying your mind, right, in order to write different queries, in order to apply various algorithms, in order to do pre-processing, that is nothing but extract, transform, and load. And then finally applying a logic, right, in order to get the patterns or the output or the knowledge or a value which you want, okay, which will fulfill end users requirement. So that is that is a necessity, right? And for that you really require a logical mind and interest, then only you can work with. And what is most important is knowledge of BI tools, as I just mentioned, right? If you want to become a business intelligence analyst, then you must know Tableau. Let's take an example of Power BI. You want to work with a Power BI, right? You're working on a Power BI, so you must know each and every parameter which is mentioned on a Power BI GUI, right? All the functionalities, all the integrations, right? So we will look at all Power BI features, right, after some slides. So you must know any one Power BI tool in detail, right? So if you are not good at this, all the points which are mentioned here, and if you want to really make a career in this particular data scientist or business analytics, you must start learning from this point of time, because this is the right time, because you are in a third year. You have 1 year of time to learn all these things, and give your best in order to start your career in business analyst or data scientist domain. Okay, so businesses need support for decision making. Uncertain economics, before these following reasons: uncertain economics, rapidly changing environment. See, because of this COVID-19 situations, just imagine the big corporate giants are also not doing well in their companies because of the uncertain economics, global competition, demanding customers, and you have to identify, right, what are the various requirements of the end user in the particular current scenario, right? If you want to really sustain in the this uncertain economics and rapidly changing environments, and in order to this get this right, we need a support, and that support business intelligence tools are provides us. Okay, so taking advantage of information acquired by companies is critical success factor. So these are the various business needs support for decision making. Okay, and then what are the various characteristics of the data for good decision making? Okay, so these are the various characteristics. Accuracy, whatever data you are using, that data must be accurate enough, correct enough. That data should not have any inaccurate information, any missing values inside it, right? Any inconsistent data, right? Then you cannot work with that particular data. Okay. The next is validity. Okay. So validity is nothing but consistency over time, right? If the data is added, new data is added, that data you must integrate with your whole data, main data set. Reliability. Okay. Well, as I said, when you talk about a big data, when you talk about a data warehouse, right, data is changing continuously, right? So whatever new data is coming in a database, that data you need to add continuously, right? And for multiple collection points, right? Collection points, this is with respect to time only. Okay, between various collection system, there are possibility that various external sources are also available, right, with respect to a particular data, right? For an example, for a particular product, you may get review through Twitter, you may get review from Amazon, you get review from various blog spots, various websites. You may get review in the form of actual feedback given by the customers. So you need to extract all this data, right, with time. Then next is timeless, to influence decisions, capture quickly after the event, right? As and when a particular event is occurred, that data you need to capture with respect to any domain, any product which you are considering, right? Available frequently enough. As and when you want the data, that data must be highly available. Relevance, data relevant to intended purpose, right? Whatever you are doing, whatever you are looking at, your user requirement, end user requirement, with respect to that only, the data, quality data must be available with you, right? Completeness, right? The data which you have, right, that should not consist of missing data, invalid data, incomplete data, noisy data, right? If this data is there available, then you obviously you need to perform a pre-processing, right, in order to work on that particular data, correct? So this is what the main characteristics of data for good decision making. Okay, so there is an information gap, okay, that BI tools actually bridge the gap of this information, right? So what exactly is the shortfall between gathering information and using it for decision making? Firms have inadequate data warehouses. Business analysts spend 2 days a week gathering and formatting the data instead of performing analysis. Data warehousing institute. So this was the earlier when you were using a data warehousing institute, right? See, because as we have seen, it is nothing but OLAP. Okay, online analytical processing. You perform various operations, right? You perform a consolidation, you perform drill down, slice, dice, rotate, pivot. These all are operations of OLAP, right? This operation you perform on OLAP, right, in order to get some hidden predictive patterns from that particular data. Okay, so when this data, because see, data warehouse, we cannot perform we cannot perform write operation on a data warehouse. It is what operation you perform on a data warehouse actually is read, right? You can extract the data only, right, but you cannot modify it. So that's the reason, if you want to change it, the data, if you want to add the data, then it takes more time with respect to the data warehouse. Okay, so business analysis takes more time. So that's the reason this business intelligence is introduced, and it actually bridges the gap, okay, for handling the data and working on the data. So data warehouse, okay, we already discussed, right, what exactly a data warehouse is, what are various properties. So I will not repeat this. Okay, 5 tasks of data mining in business. Classification, categorizing data into actionable groups. Example, loan applicants. Okay, you have various, let's take an example of ICICI Bank, right? In ICICI Bank, various customers applies for a loan, right? So there are various types of loan: home loan, right, personal loan against a property, correct? So, and there are various private um, customers, government customers, right? And customers who are doing business. So this all are nothing but various types of applicants. There are various age groups. Okay, normally loan starts after 20 to 30 age, 30 to 40 age, 40 to 50 age, 50 to 60 age. So based on all these parameters, right? Based on all these parameters, right, you need to classify whether loan, if a particular loan is given to a particular customer, so what that loan falls under: high risk, mid risk, or low risk, correct? So high, mid, and low risk. So there is nothing but a classification. So based on various classification algorithm, right, you can identify, right, you can identify, and you can various statistics, you can extract various results from that. Estimations, response rate, probabilities of responses. As I just mentioned, I have given you one example. I want to launch a particular company, want to launch one particular product with top features, okay, which are available in the current top selling brand, right? And with less price than the current brand of a mobile phone, correct? Then with respect to estimate, right, whether how many number of copies will be required, how many profit, how much profit you can do from that particular, what is the demand, right? So this is nothing but a response rate and probabilities of the responses, right? So you apply various algorithms, correct? So this algorithms falls under prediction category, correct? So there are a number of prediction algorithms are available. So you apply that particular algorithm in order to estimate this. um, Prediction, right, predicting customer behavior, okay, from all previous purchase history and current purchase history. You can predict customer behavior, right, what type of product this particular customer will buy or will look at, correct? So that you can predict. Then affinity grouping, what items or services are customers likely to purchase together. This is nothing but an association, okay? So we have various examples of various algorithms in big data. That is sun algorithm, PCY algorithm, multi-stage algorithm, multi-hash algorithm. So this all algorithm falls under affinity grouping, right? If a customer is purchasing, let's suppose, item A, B, C, D, right, along with item A, B, C, D, he may tends to purchase any other item. So this is nothing but a frequent data items, right? And when the frequent data items are identified, you need to identify what are the various frequent data item sets are available in and what are the relationships among that particular frequent data items. Okay, strong relation, strong association rules and weak association rules you can easily find. Okay, let's take an example. A customer has purchased antivirus software computer, then he tends to purchase an antivirus software. Customer has purchased computer, then he tends to purchase a keyboard or a mouse, correct? So these are nothing but a affinity grouping, right? Then description, finding interesting patterns, okay, from various scenarios, from various content of a particular data. So this is nothing but you can say a recommendation kind of content based and collaborative filtering. Okay, you can identify hidden predictive patterns of a particular users, okay, what they are looking at, what kind of product they may like, right, what kind of product they may purchase, right? And accordingly you can recommend that particular product, okay, to that particular customers. And finally you can analyze and we can make use of the strategies, right, in order to increase the demand or increase the sales of that particular product, for that particular product and for that particular company. So these are the various types of data mining processes. So there are various data mining techniques: market basket analysis, cluster analysis, decision trees and rules indexes, and neural networks. So neural networks nowadays, the in demand neural network is nothing but a deep learning, right? In deep learning there are various algorithms. There are various models which are in demand, like CNN, convolutional neural network, recurrent neural network, right? Then efficient date, DLTR. So these all algorithms are very, very important, right? In order to, then again, a BERT model, then GPT model. So these all models are very, very useful, right? In order to extract some patterns from the data and work on it. And these patterns really gives better results than the previous traditional data mining algorithms. Okay. Market basket analysis is nothing but same as we are discussed, right? See, if a number of customers are visiting a particular, let's take an example of DMart, right? They take a trolley and they visit around the floors in first floor, second floor, and third floor. Whatever items they want to purchase, they just pick that particular item, then put into a basket, and they finally do a billing, right? So a number of transactions are added per day, and among all day, in one particular day, what are the various items, right, are frequently purchased. So this is nothing but a market basket analysis, right? You are analyzing the market, nothing but a trolley. Okay, basket is nothing but a trolley, and market is nothing but your DMart here in this case. Cluster analysis. Okay, there are a number of this particular. Let's take an example of this particular trolley. What kind of category of products are purchased by the customers? So this you can also identify, right? You can do a cluster analysis on this. Decision trees and rule inductions, right? This is nothing but a classification. Okay, what kind of categories of users, right, based on the age groups, based on the product, right? So if this is the age groups as of the customer, then yes, there is a possibility that they will purchase this kind of product more. Correct. So there are various categories of data mining techniques. Okay, you can apply. Okay, in order to get various outcomes, finding patterns or sequences in the way that people purchases and product services. Okay, Walmart activities. Obvious decision is people who buy computer also buy pen drive. Non-obvious men who bought diapers will also purchase beer. So these are the example of market basket analysis. Cluster analysis, grouping data into like clusters based on specific attributes. Examples: crime map clusters to better deploy police, where to build a cellular tower, outbreaks of coronavirus. So based also here, you can make use of Twitter, Facebook. So when any event occur on social media, let's take an example of current scenario of coronavirus, right? So all the people are tweeting on Twitter or Facebook, right? So you can download this data from developer.twitter.com or developer.facebook.com, and you can analyze the data. You can analyze the clusters, right? What kind of users are appearing? What are the users clusters, right? What are the region wise? Also, you can do the cluster analysis, right, based on the tweet. Even you can analyze the tweets, okay, based on the let's take an example of positive, negative, and neutral. Users view wise, you can also analyze. Let's take an example of crime map clusters to better deploy police. Let's take an example of currently going Waze Prakaran, right? Sachin Waze Prakaran, Antila case, right? So a number of people are tweeting with respect to Mansukh Hiren, with respect to Sachin Waze, with respect to ATS of Maharashtra Police, with respect to Maharashtra government. So a number of events are currently happening on Twitter, on Facebook, right? With respect to all scenarios happening around in Maharashtra or in India. Correct. So these tweets you can analyze, you can categorize into various clusters. So there are various parameters which you can look at. Okay, and you can analyze in order to get some hidden insights from that particular data. So what is data mining? We have already seen, right? It is nothing but applying an algorithm and getting some hidden insights. Okay, some rules or some knowledges or some values from the data. That is called as a data mining. Right. And what is BI? BI is nothing but it is a tool or a technique to turn data into meaningful information. Correct. So this is nothing but a BI. Okay. So what is process? Methods used by organization to turn data into knowledge. And what is product? Information that allows businesses to make decisions. That is nothing but a product. Okay, so here process is nothing but various algorithms, various techniques, and product is nothing but Power BI, Tableau, SAS, right, and SAP. So these are various solutions. So what is business intelligence? Collecting and refining information from sources, internal and external, analyzing and presenting the information usual ways, dashboard, visualization, reports, so that people can use, can make better decisions that help to build and retain in competitive environment. We are already discussed with example. So these are various examples of Cliffolio sample of marketing dashboard. Okay, so here see, if you look at various numbers are given. So this is nothing but a kind of dashboard which you can get by applying a Power BI tool. Okay, so 6504 leads this month, correct. 2102 sales ready leads this month. So month wise, week wise, quarter wise, all the statistics along with various graphs, right, along with various statistics you get in on a one particular page. This is nothing but a stat dashboard. So this is just one of the example. Then Fitbit. Okay, when you have a Fitbit, you can have this statistics here, right. 15648 steps clean, 56 floors clean, 6.77 miles travel. So this is nothing but a example of dashboard. So this kind of dashboard you can get, okay, with the help of business intelligence tools. Okay, now we'll look at Power BI. So Power BI is a tool of Microsoft, which is a cloud-based business analysis and intelligence service by Microsoft. It is a collection of business intelligence and data visualization tools such as software services, apps, and data connectors. See, the Power BI desktop, you can easily use it. You can all the data, whatever data you want to use with different kind of data, that also we'll look at. Okay, what kind of data you can look at and you can work with the Power BI. You can actually add and you can integrate that particular data in order to convert into a standard format, right? And finally you get a better result, and you can apply all techniques in order to get the whatever decisions you want, and you can visualize that particular data output or a value or a knowledge, okay, as per the requirements. And number of visualizations techniques are also available in a Power BI. Okay, and that are really wonderful. Okay, we can use the data sets imported in a Power BI for data visualization and analysis by making shareable reports, dashboards, and apps. Okay, Power BI is user-friendly tool offering impressive drag and drop features and self-service capabilities, and it is really easy to use and easy to learn. And it is really intuitive. All the features which are added in Power BI tool is really intuitive features. Okay, so Power BI offers three main types of platforms: Power BI desktop, a desktop application which you can use; Power BI service, which is similar as a software as a service, where you no need to install it in your system. You can simply use on a browser, and Power BI mobile for iOS and for Android devices. So your Power BI is available in three different formats: desktop, service, and mobile. Okay, process of Power BI. Process, this is the process flow of Power BI. Okay, collection of data sources. See, the data sources, you can collect data from SQL, from various external sources, right? And you can load that particular data, right, on in a Power BI desktop. You can use this particular data. Then you can use Power BI service, right, in order to share your data, in order to collaborate your data. That is nothing but a Power BI gateway. Okay, so this is your main company's data, and you can make use of this all cloud Power BI service, right, in order to share the data, in order to collaborate the data, in order to generate dashboard, in order to generate reports, and share that particular report and collaborate it, and finally get your final result or a final outcome. Okay, so this is nothing but a process of Power BI. Then Power BI architecture. So basically, Power BI architecture has three features. Okay, and that three features are nothing but data preparation, data visualization, and business users. Okay, so data preparation. So we have various data, as we know. See, when you, that means this is nothing but this is not with respect to a Power BI itself. Okay, right? Any business intelligence tools if you are using, right, that tools is that tool have ETL installed in it. So I will come to the part here. What do you mean by ETL process? Right? Extract, transform, and load. So you see, you have, what do you mean by extraction? This is nothing but various data. You have SQL server data, you have SQL business data, you have Oracle database, you have all the databases, you have data stored in a text format, you have data stored in Excel format, you have data stored in CSV format, you have data stored in PDF format. So all this data is which is available, and you want to work with that particular data, that data is in different format. The data you need to convert into one standard format, that is called as a extraction, and you need to convert into one particular format, that is called as a transformation. So all this data which is available in all these files, right, you need to convert into a data which is equivalent data, equivalent format, which is used in a Power BI. So that is called as a transformation. Now what do you mean by extraction? Extraction is nothing but, let's suppose you have 200 files, but out of 200 files you need only 100 data, 100 files itself. Or let's suppose this SQL server file have 1 lakh of entries, but out of 1 lakh of entries, you find that only 10,000 entries are required, or which are useful for the current scenario which you are currently working as per the end user's requirement. Then you will not load all these 1 lakh entries. You will load only 10,000 entries which are useful only. That is called as the extraction. Whatever data is required, that data only extracted from the data from the sources, and that is loaded, that is transformed into a standard format, and finally that data is loaded here. So that is what is extract, is nothing but extraction, transform is nothing but a transformation, and load is nothing but a loading. Let's take an example here. Again, transform I will give you. See, you have we had discussed where the example of student data, right, of St. John College of Engineering, admitted in 2008, to, let's take an example of current year, right? The database which you are using, the columns which are used, the schema, database schema which is used in 2008, the same schema may be not available in current academic year. The data type which is used for students storing student ID, student name, student address, which is used in 2008-9 database, right, which is not similar now in 2021, right? Earlier they may use any other data set. Currently let's suppose your college is using Oracle database. Earlier they were using MySQL, they switched to, let's suppose, JBoss or any other equivalent DBMS software, right? So data, this is nothing but, this is called as a different database schemas, different data types. So you need to you need to transform it into a standard format before using with a Power BI tool. Okay, you have to consider that particular point also. Again, one more important thing is, let's take an example of, there is one column like as a gender, right? In 2001, in 2008, let's suppose, for denoting a gender, male, your college has used, let's suppose, male, for denoting male they use capital M, and for denoting female they use capital F. But in later on, right, let's suppose the administrative person who was using the database, right, is changed, and he has used now, instead of you for denoting the male, he has used 1 for denoting male, and for denoting female he has used 0. Then this is nothing but a database change. Again, let's take an example of employees working on a particular company. Let's suppose example of Infosys. Some employees working on a project, they are working on from India, and some companies from India itself, but they are currently on site. They are working from England. So salary point, that employees are getting in a dollar, and Indian employees who are working in India, they are getting in rupees. So you need to convert this dollar and rupees into one single format. Are we getting? So these are various examples. Okay, let's take an example of one particular employee gets promoted from software engineer to senior software engineer. So earlier in databases, what is stored as a designation is software engineer, but now he is senior software engineer. Correct? So this data you need to change in your data. So that is called as a transformation. You need to transform the data. So you finally load that particular data into a data warehouse, or a main storage, or you can say a big data, right? And finally, using the BI tool, right? You can visualize the data. You can create various dashboards. You can create various reports. You can create various scorecards, and you can deliver this all visualization in the form of dashboards, in the form of scorecards, in the form of reportings, in the form of various reports, right? Crystal reports, normal reports, aqua reports, right? And you can deliver it to a business user. You can deliver it to your clients. So that is called as this is what Power BI architecture. Okay, a Power BI architecture is consisting of various parts as we have discussed. Data integration. You can integrate, as I say, you are integrating the data of various sources, from text, Excel, CSV, PDF, from various database softwares. Okay, you are transforming and you're integrating with into a one particular data. Correct. And all this ETL process where you are doing this area is called as the data staging area. This area is called as a data staging area. Then next is data processing, right? So all the we had also discussed data processing, right? Quality or data, right? Characteristics of quality data for decision making. This is nothing but a data processing, right? Your data must you need to transform all the redundant values, redundant data, missing values, right? All the data you need to transform into a standard data. If there are any missing values, you need to add that particular missing values. If there is noisy data, then you have to remove that noisy data and you have to fill that particular data with accurate data, right? If there is irrelevant data, then that irrelevant data you need to delete it from that particular data, right? If the data set is consisting of various different values, right? For so you, with respect to a majority value, you have to repeat that particular value in a particular data. That is called as a pre-processing. Data presentation. With the help of Power BI desktop tool software, you can create reports, you can create dashboards, you can create scorecards, and you can share these, you can visualize these to your end users. Okay, so these are the various features. Now, what are various components of Power BI? There are various components of Power BI. So what are these components? So these components are Power Query. You can perform various queries, right? You can use this service to access, to search, to transform the data from public or local or internal data storage. Power Pivot, this service provides tools to model data taken from in-memory data source to use it for analytics, right? You can view the data from various angles and you can show that particular data to end users. Power View. This view has many tools to graphically represent the data using visuals and use them for analysis, right? So you can view the data across various dimensions, right? Across by at various 360-degree angles, right? You can find like map wise, region wise, sector wise. You can identify and you can view that particular data, right? Power Map, right? It comes with tools and capabilities to visualize geospatial data, right? Or information in the 3D model in the map. You can use these maps in the Power BI report, right? You can make use of Google Maps. You can make use of in order to get some country-wise data, right? Or state-wise data, district-wise data, that the kind of, or you can say a branch-wise data. So you can so this is called as a Power Map. Then Power BI desktop, we already identify. You can view this data, you can use this data in order to create the all kinds of report dashboards and uh, queries. Okay, Power BI website, this is again another platform, okay, which is really this is nothing but a software as a service we just had discussed, right? Where you no need to install it, but you, with the help of this particular app, you can use all you can just, you need to just work with the data which you want to integrate with and work with. You have to apply various tabs, right? And you have to get the results or service, right? This enables for sharing various workbooks and data views with other users. Okay. Then next is Power Question Answers. Using Power BI Question Answers option, you can search for data or discover insights by entering queries in a natural language, right? And it instantly understand your queries and return relevant results. So any questions, answers you want to ask while using a Power BI, you can easily get the help from Power BI Question Answers, right? Power BI mobile apps. Okay, business users view and interact with reports and dashboards published on cloud service through mobile hosted Power BI instances, right? So even though if you don't, you are traveling, right, and you have mobile phone with you, you can simply integrate with that particular services of your the data of your project, and you can simply view the result, view the dashboard and reports. Okay, data catalog. This consists of various options that offers various capability to search and reuse the queries. Data management gateways. This is the component which manages the periodic data refreshes, data feed, viewing, and table exposing. Now, why to use Power BI? Power BI is a cloud-based service, right? It also provides Power BI desktop. It also has Power BI embedded that runs on a Azure cloud platform, and it really very helpful. Okay, it the ETL features which are available in Power BI and data analysis features which are available in Power BI are really good compared to all popular business intelligence tools like Tableau, SAP, SAS, okay, ClickView. So Power BI stands in front of all of them, right? What Power BI can do. So that's the reason Power BI is very helpful. Power BI can do real-time analysis with respect to all the scenarios. It can capture all the details with respect to one particular product, one particular one particular entity, right? From across various fields, across from Facebook, from Twitter, from various blogspot, and you can generate the data sets, right? Custom visualization as per your need. You can visualize your results as per your need. You can visualize your results and you can get whatever options you want, right? The next, you can get quick insights into the data, right? You can generate various results, right, within fraction of seconds, right? That is very useful. Then there are various data gateways are available, right? You can use SQL server, you can use BI enterprise ready as on premises connections, okay, to make data faster, secure, and technology scalable and reliable. So you can integrate various other resources also. You can connect other services through Power BI, such as SQL server analysis services, okay. Yeah, yes, SAS, Microsoft Excel here also you can integrate with Power BI, right? Again, Power BI use, okay, and you can integrate with the latest technologies like HTML5, column store databases, and cloud computing. Okay, you can even use various like JSON formats. There are a number of formats which we'll look at. Just see, these are the data connections are possible in Power BI. So what are these data connections are possible? You can work with Excel, text, XML, PDF, JSON format for folders and SharePoint. You can work with the various databases, SQL Server databases, Access databases, Oracle databases, right? SAP, HANA databases, IBM, MySQL, Teradata, Impala, Amazon Redshift, Google BigQuery. So this all database you can integrate with Power BI. Power BI, BI data set and Power BI data flows also you can use. You can use with Azure. Azure SQL, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Analysis Services, Azure Data Lake, Azure Cosmos DB, online services like Salesforce, Azure Dev Apps, Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, Data Mix 365, Facebook, GitHubs, all these online services, data, okay, you can just you can link and you can use the data which is available on these platforms, right? With the help of Power BI, you can integrate it, you can convert it into a standard format, and you can with that particular data set in Power BI, right? Then what are other databases like Python script, R script, Web, Spark? So Spark is a framework which is similar to a MapReduce, right? Which is 100 times faster than the MapReduce, right? Then Hadoop HBase, HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, ODBC, right? OLEDB, Active Directory, etc. So if you look at the data connections, okay, you can integrate, you can add with Power BI are tremendous. Okay, there is no such databases which is remaining which you cannot integrate and which you cannot work with Power BI. Right. So that's the reason Power BI is very famous. And if you look at what are the companies, okay, these are the leading companies using Power BI, okay, for storing their whole data. Dell, Capgemini, Nomura, Accenture, Agile BI, and DataBears. These are the top companies who are using their Power BI as a data, okay, as a business intelligence tool, okay, in order to make some strategic decisions and generate reports for creating dashboards and various other stuffs. Okay. Then evaluation of business intelligence. If you look at, see, these all questions with respect to all companies, with respect to our products, what will happen? Why did it happen? What will happen? Right? And what is the best that could happen in the future? Right? So this all what related questions with respect to any domain, any product, right? Any requirement, right? You can easily get with the help of BI only, with the help of business intelligence tools only. What are various business intelligence applications? Customer analytics, right? With respect to customers, okay, that customer may be on a YouTube, on a Amazon, on a Twitter, on a Facebook, or any platform. Any analytics you want to form, you need BI. human capital productivity analysis, business productivity analysis with respect to profit loss, gain loss, with respect increase, drive your sales, all sales channel analytics, supply chain analytics, customer behavior analytics. So with respect to all this, you must have, the first thing is data, right, of across various sources, and with respect to all that sources you can easily apply business intelligence tools, and you can get various analysis with respect to a particular data. Okay, so these are the various applications of BI tools. So thank you. So that's what from my side. If you have any questions, you are free to ask.
Okay, thank you, sir. Students, if you have any questions for sir, you can ask right now. No questions, students from your side?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so there is one question. One student is asking whether you can suggest some good courses.
Okay. See, there are a number of courses with respect to data analytics. See, there is one course with Triple IT with Texas Institute, okay, which is currently in demand, and that is driven by Upgrad Institute. Right, so you can join that course, or even if you don't want to pay a high amount, there are a number of courses are with respect to data analytics. Right, is available on Coursera, right, that you can join these courses. Okay, if you don't want to spend more, and you don't want to actually fix your timeline, right, if you consider your academics, because if you joined some standard courses, right, you have to fix your timeline, right, you cannot divide your slots and you can learn that things, right. So better ways, there are many courses available on Coursera, you can join that courses.
Okay, any other questions for sir from your end, students?
So, but one thing I will tell you before, see, listen, I don't think as a, because there are many students, many of my students are currently working in standard companies like Facebook, Apple, right, Amazon, in UK, in US, right, and in India also, in Morgan Stanley, in JP Morgan, in PhonePe, in Work India, across in very in the, so they are doing, but from their perspective, see, joining a particular course is not required. What required is building a knowledge of Python, right? Building a knowledge of data mining various data mining algorithms, right? Then learning and even if you learn the, if you see, let's take an example of Power BI. See, if you look at the Power BI, the whole workbook of Power BI is easily available to you. No need to join any other courses, right? If you want to get that particular data, I will share with Brinzel madam. It has around 1000 line of whole detail tutorial, right, created by Microsoft team who had developed Power BI software, along with various case studies, along with various data, along with various scenarios, right. If you really want to work with that, clear your basic concepts of normal database languages like SQL, NoSQL, right, then learn Python, all various libraries of Pythons, NumPy, SciPy, scikit-learn, Pandas library, Matplotlib library, Seaborn library. So these all libraries you need to work on first, right. And once all these your data mining concept, big data algorithm concept are clear now, then you can easily work on these BI tools, and no need to join private classes or certification courses. You can easily learn by your at home by just going reading these such tutorials and worksheets which are available, highly available and freely available by uh, the company which is developed Power BI, Microsoft. I will share with Brinzel ma'am. You can go through it.
Definitely, sir. Please share the material that you can possibly share for our students. They would highly gain from this, whatever knowledge and data that you share with them.
Sure, sure,
So,
ma'am.
students, yeah, thank you, sir. Students, in the chat, I have posted a feedback form. Okay, so it is mandatory for those who have attended this session to fill this form. And students, till I do not tell you, please do not leave the meet, be in the meet, okay, for the further instructions. So now I would like Aarti to go ahead with the vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Aarti Chavan, on behalf of SGCM and the entire ITSC team, let me call it a fraternity of institute here together. And on my behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the present here for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. So, a big thank to Mr. Pramod Bide sir for his efforts towards on uh, understanding the difference between the BI analytics, big data. Then he has covered many major points of BI. I may also like to express our sincere thanks for giving the excellent courage to the BI technology. And we also would like to acknowledge our gratitude for exposing his theory of the above said. We are all inspired by your great works. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place our hearty thanks to ITSA and the whole IT department for the perfect logistic support and guidance that has been extended to all of us on this occasion. Also, thank you so much, sir, for taking out taking out the time from your busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Thanks to all. Thanks to Brinzel ma'am for giving me an opportunity, and thanks to all students for listening me for 1.5 hours. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
All the
so much,
best.
sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, before you leave, we would like to have a group photo. So I would request everyone to please on their cameras so we can take a quick photo. Tushar, please take the screenshot, and when you're done, please give the cue. All right? Yeah, everyone, please on their cameras, please.
Done.
Okay, thank you, Tushar. Thank you so much. Sir, I know that you have a busy schedule ahead with you. So, if you want to take a leave from us, you are free to do so. And thank you so much once again for giving your time from the busy schedule and being with us for this expert session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.